everyone, it's day 3 of Vlogust. It's Sunday, almost 2 o'clock, and I've had a really productive day so far. I started off with a nice coffee and some knitting on my chunky dahlia sweater, which I'm actually really enjoying. And I spent the rest of my morning or my day so far just trying to regroup from the last couple of weeks where I've gotten off track with some of my just schedules and routines. I've been doing things just as they needed to be done, and I really wanted to get back on track and just start next week off on the right track. So I've got laundry going, I've cleaned bathrooms and vacuumed upstairs. I've got everyone in the house on something, some kind of project. James is going to empty out my car. There's quite a few things that we left in there from yesterday. Glenn is tidying up some stuff in the basement, and Camden's kind of on kitchen duty. So everyone is doing something. And I'm at that point where my brain is just spinning and spinning with what else needs to get done and really wanting to finish it all, but then also thinking it's Sunday and I'd like to just sit down and relax. And that is always my struggle because I'm overly ambitious. I want to do everything when I have the energy to do it. And then I kind of run out of time for certain things. It's just a toxic trait of mine. But I am in the studio just kind of looking around at the disaster that I've left in here. I've got a whole bunch of yarn that I need to organize for my D-stash. If you have sent me an email and I haven't answered, I have seen it. I'm just kind of taking a bit of a break this weekend because it's been so busy. So I'm planning on getting all of those emails and packages out tomorrow. I want to clean up a bit of a mess I have in here because I came in here late last night, which I don't normally do. I was putting away my Hobonichi and a little tin of markers since I didn't use them yesterday. And I sat in my creative corner, which is so cozy. I put some music on and I started to flip through my journal and just played around a little bit. I think I've been struggling with the paper and my pens, and I came to a big realization that I think it's time to move on from what used to be my favorite pen, which is fine because I believe it's been discontinued anyways. I have about 4 of them floating around all over the place. But I think since Hobonichi changed their paper just a little bit last year, it hasn't really been the best. And I haven't been enjoying writing on the paper, which is kind of strange. And it's also been really crinkly and kind of messy feeling. So I've decided to stop using the Yoo-Hoo glue stick that I found in my desk. I don't know if it's partly that, and I've gone back to a different glue stick that I like. It's glue. It's called glue, and it's spelled Gloo. I found one of those when I was cleaning out pouches. It seems to be a little bit smoother on the paper and it doesn't buckle as much. But speaking of pens, I am going to retire my previously favorite Pilot multi-ball. I don't even know what this is called. LM10F-B. I've been using this pen for years. I had tons of them stockpiled, and then someone told me that they were discontinued. And to be honest, I think I'm over that pen, and I think I have found my new favorite. I have 2 of them. I've had them for a couple years now. I've been using them in other notebooks, but I've discovered they write beautifully on the Hobonichi paper. I have one in plum And I also have a gray one, and it is a refillable gel pen, which is perfect. It's the Sarasa. I think that's all it's called. It's just the Zebra Sarasa pen. It's a click. I'm pretty sure this is the 0.5 size, and you can get refills for it as well. It's not super expensive, and I like that I can just keep refilling this, and it writes beautifully. I just had a much better experience with it. So I was playing around with pens, and I printed a few pictures off, added a few more elements to quite a few pages, set up my planner for next week, and it just felt really good to have some quiet time in here in my little cozy corner after we had such a busy day. And I am really finding that I need to do something creative or make something with my hands every single day in order to feel like at ease, even if it's just a little bit of writing in my journal, even if it's just checking off some boxes in my planner. That helps me. I can use pretty colors and just feel a little bit more organized. I didn't do any knitting yesterday, and so, or did I do some in the morning? I can't remember, but it was such a busy day that I think last night I just wanted to sit and kind of spread out some of my creative things, and it felt really good. But my room is now a mess because there are these sheets all over the place, bits of paper everywhere. I've realized a lot of my markers and pencils and pencil crayons and things that I like to use, highlighters, they're all over the place. And so I think tomorrow, when I get into the studio and I finish doing my morning admin, I think I'm going to get all of my stationery organized, set up a new pouch that's just kind of like an all-in-one pouch that I can take to the main floor, to the backyard, or leave it on my desk. And so I had a really nice creative night, and I've had a really good creative and productive Sunday, but I feel like I just cannot sit still until I finish the entire tidy up. So I'm going to go check on my laundry, see what else needs to be done before I finally put my feet up, and then decide what I'm going to do. It is going to be a pretty quiet day around here, but it's still busy. It's just a home day, which I think is such a nice thing to do on a Sunday. I really love when we don't have to go anywhere on a Sunday. And the last week or two, we've been out, we've been visiting family, we've been to movies, we've done a lot of running around. So it's really nice to regroup, reset for the week ahead. I have no idea what I'm making for dinner tonight, and I don't think I have a lot of energy to bake something, which I was kind of hoping to, but I think I might do that tomorrow. If I can squeeze that in on a Monday, I think it would be really nice to kind of get myself organized in the kitchen, bake something nice for the week. But today I'm just going to continue on this little house reset so that I can sit down and maybe pick up my sweater again. It's going really well. I think I only did about 4 or 5 rows this morning, but I am starting to see the pattern really emerge, because at the beginning of it, I kept looking at it and I wasn't able to see it. There are a lot of yarn overs, and so a lot of different shifting rows of eyelets, and I couldn't quite tell if I was doing it correctly. But I pulled up a picture of someone else's and I had a look when I finished a few more rows today, and I think I'm on track. It's starting to look like it's supposed to, and I'm really in love with it, which I think is it's just like the magic of a knitting project. first you really need to find the pattern that you love the look of, but also you like knitting it. If I have a pattern that I'm excited about and I love what it looks like, but then I start the pattern, but I don't really connect with how it's written, or I need to put a little bit too much of my mental energy into it, I will stop. I've kind of done that with one or two things lately. I had a pattern out, I had the needles, I had the yarn, I had a bag, I was ready to go. I started to flip through the pattern, and it's not even a difficult one, but it was just the way it was written that I was having a very hard time grasping it. And I thought it's either for another day or it's not for me. But because this Chunky Dahlia is a beautifully written pattern, and I'm obsessed with the yarn and how it's knitting up, it feels so good in my hands. I love the color. I feel like it's just the perfect mix of elements to make me want to pick it up more and more and more. And so it's going to be my motivation to finish cleaning up. I think I'm going to go down to the basement, check on Glenn, see how the boys are doing with some of the things I asked them to clean up. We can get things put away. I need to figure out what's for dinner, and then I can relax. Just finishing up some laundry. It feels like it is never ending. I did a whole bunch of deep cleaning in the basement that I did not expect to, and I've pretty much wrecked my nails because I was using a cleaner with bleach, and I wrecked my t-shirt, I think. I'm pretty sure that's bleach, so that's a bit of a bummer. But I wanted to share something that has become an all-time favorite product. I shared it on my Patreon recently, but I thought I would share it with you guys too because I absolutely love it. I have been trying to simplify a lot of my skincare this past year. I've had a lot of skin reactions and changes with my skin because I am 50 years old now. And I started to use this product. I've had it for a while. I think I tried it and I left it on my makeup table, and then I never really incorporated it into my daily skincare routine. But I do now, and I feel like it's made a very big difference. It's like a creamy toner, or milky toner, I think is how it's referenced as. There are a lot of different versions of these out there. I know a very popular one is the Hailey Bieber one, the Rhode one, the Bioma one is one you can get at the drugstore that has very good reviews. This one is by Laneige, which is a Korean brand, and there are a whole bunch of Korean skincare brands that have it too. It's called Cream Skin. And it's a liquid toner that I put in my hands and just pat on my face right after I cleanse and before I use any moisturizer. I really, really like it. I feel like my skin is a little bit healthier, a little bit glowier, and definitely more hydrated. And then it kind of makes my moisturizer really work well. So I wanted to share this because this has become an absolute favorite of mine, and I think it's really, really good. It's a couple of hours later. Glenn surprised me by ordering some pizza. So we had a very early dinner and I don't have to worry about cooking tonight, which is really nice. I've just been focused on cleaning and organizing for the week ahead, and I kind of got carried away because my niece messaged me. She texted me and said she wanted to put together like a mood board on a bulletin board, all like blue and white inspired. She contacted the right person, let me tell you, because I've put together a whole pouch of papers, fabrics, even popped this in. She doesn't knit, but I thought maybe she will put this beautiful mini skein of blue yarn on her bulletin board, and I just have some really cute fabrics in here. She can cut them out, pin them however she likes. I got very excited by that. And then I just went to look for a summer read. I have taken a bit of a break from my reading, and I really want a good summer book. So I think this is the one I have landed on. It's The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. I've heard a lot of good things about this book. It is very loved, very popular, and I think there's a second one as well. So I feel like this might be a good one. I just need something to get back into reading, and I think that one might do it for me. Because we've eaten early and I've cleaned up, I think I'm gonna put my laundry away and kind of get cozy, settle in with my knitting. I really want to get back to my chunky dahlia. But I have a question for any of you that enjoy knitting sweaters. Do you only work on one sweater at a time? I feel like that might be the trick for me to finishing them. But I'm also wondering if toggling between two sweaters might also be a good idea. I keep thinking about the Ooey Gooey sweater from Andrea Mowry and the beautiful yarn that I have waiting to be caked up for that. And I think as I've been seeing more people talk about it, I've noticed that some versions add mohair to part of the color work. Not all of it, but like a certain section of it. And I actually have mohair to match my contrast color too. So kind of excited to start that. I feel like the right answer for me is to just stick to the sweater I'm currently knitting and then move on to the Ooey Gooey sweater. But I'm also very tempted, so I don't know how long I'm going to last. So I think I'm going to wrap up here. The boys are watching Manchester United play. I think I'm gonna go sit in there with them, do a little bit of knitting, wait for my niece to come by and pick up her little goodie bag. Oh, I feel like I just got the best assignment in the world. And I hope you have a lovely end to your weekend, and I will see you tomorrow.